For this exercise, browse to your Chapter 10 folder and open the file Chapter 1003 Ducts. In addition to the 3D view, scroll down in your project browser and open up the view HVAC Level 3 Modelling. Then, from the View tab, click on Tile Window. Manipulate the views so we can see the portion of the model that's relevant. When creating duct insulation or lining, if we go and click on the Systems tab, we can see that there is no duct insulation or lining tool available. That's because the insulation or lining is specific to the elements themselves. So if I select a run of duct, I've got the option to add insulation or lining. These tools are not available if you're using duct placeholders, as they have no 3D element to them. So in the plan view, let's tab and select the duct layout. Only when it's selected, notice how the duct insulation tool isn't available. We need to go to the filter box and remove air terminals in order for us to be able to add insulation. Here's the insulation tool. I can click on Add Insulation, select one of the types that exist or create a new type, accept the thickness, and click on OK. We can see that insulation has been added to the view. But it's beginning to look a bit messy, and it's changed the way that I'm looking at the view. How can we remedy this? This is an easy task. From the View tab, click on Visibility Graphics. I'm not going to go to duct insulations because that would apply to every single type of duct insulation. Here I'm going to create a filter. In my project I already have some filters in the filter list. There we have a 50mm 1 hour fire rated insulation. This is defined against duct insulations where the insulation thickness equals 50mm. So I can add my insulation into my filter list and then change how we look at the insulation. We can override the weight of the line, its colour, and its pattern. We can also override the main patterns. So let's go for colour again. The pattern, let's choose a diagonal crosshatch. And finally, and most importantly, I want to add a transparency because I want to be able to see all the way through the insulation. So although it becomes part of the background, it still shows up over the top of the duct. We can do this in our 3D view as well. Go back to Visibility Graphics, go to Filters, add the filter 50mm 1 hour fire rated insulation and apply the same settings. Pen 2, Colour, Line Type. The patterns will also override those with the colour, the line pattern, and also the transparency. Finally, in this exercise, I want to modify or remove some insulation. Select one of the ducts and the Modified Ducts tab is displayed again. Here we can either remove insulation or edit the insulation. Now I'm in Edit Insulation mode. I can go to the Properties, change the type if necessary, and change the insulation thickness. Now that's been changed, it falls outside of the parameters I set within Visibility Graphics. So let's go back to the View tab again, click on Visibility Graphics, go to Filters, and now we'll add another filter, the 100mm 2 hour fire rated insulation, and change those properties. The pattern, the surface patterns, so we'll do the same with the colour, but we'll change the actual surface pattern to something slightly different, but also give this 100% transparency. And then we have our different types of insulation. Now, I'm all for doing as little work as possible, so I could go through exactly the same process of adding the filter to the Visibility Graphics for my 3D view. But let's see if we can cut down the time it takes to actually achieve that. I know there are some slightly different ways of presenting both of these views. I've got a hidden line in the plan and shaded in the 3D view. So what I can do here is go to the View tab, make sure I've got the HVAC Level 3 modelling plan active, and from View Templates, create a template from the current view. Here I'll call this Insulations. Now this only really relates to filters, so what I'll do here is uncheck all the other categories, apart from the filter category. With that done, I can go to my 3D view, back in the View tab, go to View Templates, and apply template properties to the current view, which will be the Insulations template. Click on Apply, and OK. My 3D view matches my 2D plan.